Welcome back to Casual Bias Rugby. The Boks victors over Tonga, 47 points to 18. And I mean, this was a tough game. I mean, physically battered, bruised. I think it was like in the 25th, 30th minute. They showed like a little clip of Jasper Wiese, and the guy looked like he was 1.5 feet in the grave. The guy literally looked like he was dying. Impressive performance by Tonga, to be honest. We scored 2 tries that were very much against the run of play. I think Tonga really came out to play, came to, I wouldn't say necessarily cause an upset, but just to say, listen, we are here. We are here to show you this is no walkover victory. Of course, this we as the Boks, we needed, I think it was 36-point victory with a bonus point, ended with 29 points, so pushed it as far as we could, to be honest. I think that at the end we got a bit lackluster. We knew we had to score 2 tries. Gave away a simple try to Tonga at the end, and of course, just not quick enough for me at the breakdown at the end when it mattered to score the 2 tries. You can't play forwards. You have to go a bit of desperation, throw the backline, see if you can hit the gap to score those that try at the end to give us a chance to maybe score another try when there's 2 minutes left. But overall, happy with the performance. The boys showed up physically. The backline didn't necessarily move at the start. I mean, it was very, very disappointing at the start, even though we had the big lead. It was definitely against the run of play, definitely not deserved, but I mean, our defense was immaculate at the start. I mean, absolutely brilliant. I just want to run through the team, give our ratings for the team. Because to be honest, I can't remember all the details of the game. I know Kobus Reinach scored a quick tap try. Kanan Moody scored an assist off the shoulder of Vincent Koch because Andre Pollard tried to kill him with the pass. Anyway, moving through it. Goodness, I've got the wrong squad announcement here. Now I've got to go off the top of my head. Oxenchair was absolutely brilliant today. I mean, jeez. Fronted up from the start. I think he was lit. All three... Oxenchair, Dion Fourie, and Vincent Koch, all 3 of them absolutely brilliant at scrum time. Really like scrum some of the Tonga guys at certain points. I think like the first 2 scrums were competitive, and from there Tonga was scrummed back into their mother's belly. It was absolutely crazy. Dion Fourie, my man of the match. The guy was a workhorse. I don't know if he played better as a hooker or played better as a Lucy. The guy was everywhere, absolutely brilliant today. Vincent Koch obviously got his first start in his lifetime for the Boks. It felt like a very good performance, very steady performance. Eben Etzebeth just did his Eben Etzebeth things, very physical today. I mean, I've got to give a shout out to Luke Pierce because I think he had an absolutely brilliant game as a ref today, except for like a couple of decisions. What he thought... wanting to give Eben a yellow on that one call when Charles Putel came from the air. Eben didn't even commit to a tackle or anything. You could just as well have said, who was the number 3, that big fella, the captain of Tonga? I can't remember. I don't mean this disrespectful at all. I can't remember his name. It's just gone lost on me. But Eben didn't even commit the tackle or anything. He was just standing there waiting for Putel to land to go in for the tackle. He wanted to give that a yellow. But then right before that, he didn't want to give the yellow to the Tonga 9 with the tackle on my pimps. Now, I don't think either of them are yellows. I hate this 4 yellows a game. It's absolutely rubbish. It's so frustrating. It's a contact sport. Like, head collisions will happen. It's part of the game. I mean, truly, this bunker stuff, it's not for me. Too many yellows in the game. There's going to be big hits. There's going to be collisions. Fine, you go on with it. Okay, it's part of the game. So I don't know what Luke Pierce was doing there. But other than that, I think he had a very good game. It's just because people were on our case for the previous game when we said Ben O'Keefe didn't have a good game. I got to give credit where it's due. Luke Pierce had a very good game. Had the game flowing in my opinion. Moving on. Marvin Orie, very good at line-out time. Of course, we lost a couple of lineouts at the end. And of course, we lost the lineout 5 meters away because we decided to throw the same lineout about 8 times in a row. But Marvin Orie, very good at disrupting the Tonga lineout, very good at securing our own lineout. usually flies under the radar with a consistent 5, 6, 7 out of 10 performance. Today was a solid 7.5 performance for me from Ori. He made himself known on the field, and that's what I like. Going on to Alusi, Sia had a very quiet game in my opinion. I didn't see him too often on the field. Now, I might have just missed every time he did something, but I just think he had one of his more quiet games. I wouldn't say a bad game necessarily. I didn't see him miss tackles or anything. But Sia, quiet performance. Same with Dwayne. Sia and Dwayne, probably the two quiet guys on the field for me today. Jasper, I think, had an excellent performance again. I think he was absolutely brilliant. Every time he got the ball, looked like he wanted to do something. Yeah, very good performance. Overall, very good performance from our forwards back. Same with the guys that came from the bench. I mean, it's a scary thought for Tonga to think, listen, they fronted up physically very well. And then you bring on the likes of Franco Mostert and Kwagga Smith. I mean, Kwagga Smith is literally a nightmare for any team that's tired to play against. The guy is an absolute workhorse. He's everywhere. He did it today again. It's just an absolute menace. Moving on to the backline, Kobus Reinach, of course, got his try, and I think he was absolutely brilliant today. Very quick at the right time, very snipey. His defense was good. Of course, he got blown for offside a few times, but that's just because he's hungry, eager to put some pressure on the breakdown of Tonga. Brilliant. Moving on, Andre Pollard. Now, Pollard's kicking was absolutely brilliant. Okay, he didn't look like he's going to miss a single one. First kick of the game, we saw it from the corner, slots it straight through the middle. But the issue that I had with Pollard is it didn't look like there was any chemistry when he was on the field whatsoever. We had a line out about 5 meters away. The line out where Reinach scored. And the ball went out. At least we had a penalty advantage. And he just whacks the ball into a dummy runner. Or it's just, the passing is too hard. He's not finding a player. Now, if we didn't have a penalty advantage, that ball's loose and Tonga could kick it through and go onto a counter-attack. Same with the try that Moody scored. 2 dummy runners, a guy behind, and he just absolutely rockets it into Vincent Koch's shoulder. I mean, it didn't look like he's going to find a player anytime soon. But credit, I think Tonga's defense was also good. The rush defense there put some pressure on him. But I think he grew into the game as well when it came to getting the backline moving. But you can just see the difference between having Mani getting the backline operating and Pollard getting the backline operating. So it's not that I think Pollard had a bad game at all. I think that's just it's just normal mistakes, okay? But you're just not used to seeing it because Mani finds his play when it comes to the running game. I think Mani had an absolutely brilliant game when he got onto the field. So I'll give Andre a solid 7 out of 10 performance. It's not that I think he did much wrong. It's just I think the chemistry needs to build between him and the backline, or the way that we want to play in the backline at the moment. Andre Esreisen, physical as hell. I mean, he struggled every now and again to get over the gain line, but jeez, most of the times he did. He's so good, man. He runs so hard at the defenders, causes so many problems. Front foot ball every time he gets the ball. Kane and Moody as well on his outside. I don't think they work too well together today, but I think individually both of them work brilliantly. Moody, with any sort of space in front of him, is lethal. So I think Moody had a brilliant game as well. So I wouldn't say necessarily as a combination today they worked brilliantly, but I think individually both of them worked well. Of course, Moody went on to the wing because Jesse Kriel came on, and I think Jesse Kriel had an absolutely a blinder of a game. He was absolutely brilliant. I mean, we spoke before the World Cup. Listen, how big of a loss is Lukania Am going to be on that outside centre position? I don't really think, and this is with all due respect, because I still think Lukania Am's the best 13 in the world. We are not missing out on too much. I think probably Jesse Kriel's almost doing a better job than Lukania Am could have probably done. I think Jesse Kriel has just been absolutely brilliant since he's put on that 13 jersey. And then moving on to the wings, Grant Williams and then Mapimpi didn't do anything, so we'll just leave him out. And Moody, as we just spoke about, Grant Williams, decent game for a scrum half playing on the wing. I'm not a fan of a scrum half playing on the wing, but he did play on the wing. So, decent game from him. And then, of course, Willie Leroux at fullback. I don't know. There's a couple of things that I think Willie does very well. And then there's some things that like properly annoys me. First of all, Willie's defensive work is non-existent. Okay, his attacking work and his mind for the game is elite. But then there was this, I know it's small, but there was a forward pass from Willie that set Williams through. Okay, now if that's a World Cup final and the guy's like 2 meters away from you and you throw a forward pass there into an open space where you can definitely hit that back line and probably score a try, give Grant Williams open space and it's good night. And you throw a forward pass when there's no pressure on you, I would be very annoyed. And I mean like insane. It doesn't even need to be a final, quarter-final, semi-final, final where every point matters. And you throw a forward pass there on an attack like that, I'll be very annoyed. So I wasn't too annoyed this time, but I had that in mind. So we can't afford to have mistakes like that. Of course, Willie scored a try as well, 90th cap. He's been a great servant for us. He had a very good game. I wouldn't say very good, but I think he had a very decent game. He had a good game, Willie, overall. But yeah, mistakes like that has to be cut out. I don't like to see it at all. But we had a good performance as a team overall. You just can't look past mistakes like this because that has to be cut out in the games that matter. Moving on to the bench, let's wrap it up. We already spoke. Kitshoff, of course, did Kitshoff things. Marco Verstappen, I think, had probably one of his worst games when it comes to line-out time. On the ball, he was good. But, I mean, I think he had like 3 line-outs and lost all 3 of them. Overthrew them all. You overthrow Marvin Ori, probably the best guy in line-outs. Don't think he did himself any favours there, to be honest. I think moving forward, it's going to be Bongi who starts Dion in that 16 jersey. I'm still not over the performance of Dion. I think that was probably one of the best performances that he could have probably put up. I think it's the best performance he could have put up. Like, insane. Today, of course, we already spoke about Quagga and Marco Verstappen that came on. Mostert did Mostert things. Backline, Jaden Hendrikse, he didn't have too much to do today, to be honest. Kind of went under the radar, if I could say it like that. Jesse Kriel had an absolute blinder, as we said. And then Mani Lebok, wow. When he came on, you just saw the whole dynamic of the backline flowing. He's so flary, he's so good. The injection of pace that he brings to the backline. And of course, he got a 100% kicking rate. What more could you ask for? Thanks for watching. I know I didn't speak too much about Tonga. I already gave them credit. They were brilliant today. Hard fought. But boys, very proud of our boys coming out on top. So Ireland and Scotland know exactly what they need to do to go through. So it's up to them. See you next time.